Karen.
Good evening, and welcome to Paranormal Path Chat. And we have Lois. How you doing, Lois?
Not bad, thank you. How's yourself? How's your week
All
been?
right, thanks. Thank you. And we have our special guest tonight, Karen. So how are you?
Hello, good, thank you. You?
Cool, thank you.
Nice
I
to
want
meet
to
you, Karen.
welcome you because you've
Nice
got
to
one
meet
hell
you.
of an amazing story.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
And when I first saw your comments, I posted about a newspaper article onto the group
Right, yeah.
about a person who lived in a haunted house.
Yeah.
And you basically said you did. And it's like, oh my God.
So,
So,
like it.
and like,
It's,
the thing is, you always hear about newspapers or this, that, and often like things get misconstrued. And you always wonder because a lot of them do poetic license as well.
Yeah.
You know, like at the moment, some of the headlines in newspapers about totally other things are, you know, it's so random. But when you mention your experiences, and I have heard some of them.
Yes. Well, when I saw your post about this person that was in the newspaper, I was kind of drawn to it. And normally I don't sort of read all these bits of information. And I thought, God, that just sounds like some of the experiences that I had. And I just think there was more people out there, and I've never really spoken about it until now. Maybe the odd bit's been mentioned, but before I never wanted to talk about it because it didn't feel very nice. Everything felt like a negative energy around us. Because I'd gone through a breakup in my marriage and I'd come back to the UK and then went back to Cyprus again. So I was out there for a while. And then we came back and we were living in one house. And it was only a small house as well. And we was kind of cramped in there. And I said to my daughters, don't worry, we're definitely going to move. As soon as another house comes up, we're going for it. And I kind of had my eye on a house that I was drawn to in this road, which was this house.
Oh, wow.
And after a little while, we had a chimney fire, and we were trapped in the room. The door would not unlock, and the door wasn't even locked, but we just couldn't open it.
Wow.
And so I got the girls into the conservatory, but I had no keys to get out. And the police came first, and they were trying to break the door down, then the fire service, then the ambulance and the doctor, and they closed the road off. It was all very dramatic. And then all of a sudden the door just opened as by magic. And then the police were in the hallway because they'd come through the front door. And, you know, and now we kind of think, was that a warning to us not to move into this other house? We never thought that before until now, you know. So it's kind of, we moved into this other house, this new house. It was rented, and I thought, brilliant, it's a nice big 3-bedroom. We've got loads of space. The girls have got their own room. There's room for the dog as well because they were allowing pets.
Wow, that's a big one.
Yeah. And when we moved in, our neighbour next door but one introduced herself and said to us, oh, good luck in your home. You might hear the interior door go because there's been stories about things going on in the house and doors banging. And I just thought, all right, okay, it's probably next time in a door, you know, not thinking, because I'm thinking we're having a fresh start, you know, just be positive about everything. And a few weeks in, and one night we heard the door slam shut.
Oh my God.
Oh God, the last person that was there must still have a key, and they've come in for a nose around.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You know, but the dog didn't bark or anything. And I just thought that's strange. So I just went back to bed, didn't think anything of it. And this kept on happening. And then as time went on, other things would happen. Like the dog would be laying there and it was as if someone kicked her up the backside because she'd jump. And I thought, well, maybe she's got fleas or something and, you know, it's got that little itch. But she'd jump and she'd go in the corner of the room and curl up in a ball as if she was frightened. And she was a black lab. And she'd look up at the stairs and start growling or barking.
My dog growls. Yeah.
And the dogs are very sensitive, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
So I feel that she was sensing something, and it just kind of started to go downhill from there.
Wow.
Some days were okay, other days weren't. It's kind of slowly happening. And then I met my new partner, and he used to come over a couple of times a week, and he even witnessed the door banging as well, because he got up in the night and went and checked and everything else. And he's quite a skeptic as well, but he couldn't explain things, and with the dog. But because I think, I don't know, but maybe because he moved in, I don't know if they liked him being there, because as soon as he was gone, the house would be more active. It was
all right, okay.
on us being vulnerable, as if they didn't want him coming in, but wanted to just aggravate us, because whenever he was there, not much happened apart from the door banging.
Oh,
and the
gosh.
dog growling.
So it's almost like a male superior being around.
Yeah.
Control.
We just felt that there was more than one spirit, because one day my daughter, my youngest, she was playing out the front with some of the others, because we had a green outside the front, and she'd been horrible to one of the girls, and she was upset. So I made her come in and go to her room for time out. She'd gone to her room, and she said she was crying, and she saw the woman on the landing go right close to her face and go shh, like that to her, just out of the blue. And she said she was so scared, she didn't know what to do.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I didn't know this until after a while. Then she told her sister, and it kind of, come to light then. But a lot of things happened with her in her bedroom, because every night before bedtime, she'd lay a little dress on the end of her bed, ready for school. You know what girls are like. They like to get their clothes out ready for the next day.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes you'd see it with your own eyes. Her clothes would lift up and just drop like that. They wouldn't be flown. They'd be lifted up and then dropped on the floor.
Gosh.
As though somebody was mimicking what she was doing.
Yeah. And we'd sit in bed, and I'd read her a story. And she loved RSPCA toys, and she had a little quad bike, and that was turned upside down on her bed, how my daughter had left it, but the wheels were being moved. Now, to make those wheels move, you'd have to run your hand all the way across, and they were just kept rolling and rolling. And I just said, right, we're not playing now because it's bedtime. And it did stop. But then during the night, she would either feel her legs being pressed, as if someone's pressing down on her bottom of her legs to wake her up. And little things like that kept happening every night, or her toys would be moved.
My gosh, that's so scary.
It was, because most nights we'd end up all being in bed together, going to bed together, sleeping with lights on. I'd lay in bed, and all of a sudden I hear her run across the landing, thinking, oh, that's her. She needs a wee, because she's only young. And I'd get up to go and look, and she's in bed asleep. Or she's in my bed, and I'm thinking, no, not again. And the dog would be in the corner of the room under the table, curled up in a ball, as tight as possible, out of the way, which was horrible. She hated it. So it wasn't very nice.
Right. What I'm going to do then, like everyone who's watching, like, what does everyone think a haunted house looks like? Like it's a gothic mansion, it's creepy, you see all the horror films. But what does everyone think it looks like? It looks like this.
That's what you usually do get, is like people thinking.
This is what it looks like.
Just an ordinary house.
That's a beautiful house.
Yeah. And it could be anybody's house, couldn't it?
Yeah.
And it's in a small county. And yeah, you just would not expect, like, if people mention a haunted house, you don't think that, you know, and you certainly wonder how much neighbours actually experience, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you'd think it'd look old.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a 1970s house, I'd say.
Yeah, that's it.
I think it doesn't actually matter what kind of house you've got. I think it's more the ground that it's on top of.
Yeah.
Because if you think the amount of hospitals, mental hospitals that people have built right over the top of and made houses on top of, and the sort of activity they might be having, though they might not come forward, not everybody comes forward because they're scared of being ridiculed and, and things like that. But I can't imagine what you've been gone through, Karen.
Yeah,
I mean, here's some of the rooms then. So here's the front room.
And where that arrow is pointing, we used to get this wet patch on the carpet. And at first I thought it was the dog. And I thought, no, she never does that. And as you do, you're going to touch it, aren't you, to see if
definitely,
it's juice or the dog's weed or anything. And it was just, they had no smell. It was just soaking wet. And then all of a sudden it would be dry. And it wouldn't happen for weeks, and then all of a sudden it's wet again. There was no leaks. I had them checked, pulled up the carpet, nothing, which was really strange. But on that mantelpiece, there was a couple of pictures of my daughter, my youngest, and on one of the picture frames, we were all in the kitchen in the other room, and we heard a crashing sound. And one of her photos had been flown across the room, and it looked like a screwdriver was smashed into her head because it was just one smash point in her head. And we looked around, there was no sharp corners, there was no tables because we just had a little round wicker table at the time and just the sofas. There was nothing it could hit, and it just crashed on the floor, hit the door a bit, the bottom of the door, and just down there. And we just thought, what was that? And then come in the room and just saw her photo. But we'd also have photos of my youngest turned upside down or turned face down.
Wow. Was it always the youngest or either?
My eldest, it was Keys, and she had some crystals in her room on her windowsill in a bowl. And she'd hear them being picked up in the night and dropped back down.
Oh, gosh.
If someone's going for crystals and things, because I said, let's get some crystals, a bit of protection. Yeah. And they were just being picked up and dropped down. Her car, not her car keys, her house keys would be picked up, dropped down. Just everything. Anything that was on the side of hers would be picked up and just dropped. But it wouldn't be during the day. It'd be at night with her.
Yeah.
It'd be at night when she's going to bed. And
you're all one way or another individually affected as well. It wasn't something happening around one person, it was around all of you then.
Yeah, definitely. The girls, one time I'd gone out for a dog walk with my partner, and I left the girls indoors just sitting there on the floor. They were going for all their bits of jewellery and little beaded necklaces and things. And one of them had broken. So my eldest said to her, put them in the bin. You don't need them. They're broken now. So she'd put them in the bin in the bathroom. They were sitting in the bedroom. They could hear them being all picked up and dropped back down. Just the sound of them dropping. And they were both too scared to move out of the room. So they just waited until I come back home.
Oh, bless them.
Too scared to do anything.
Oh gosh, it's horrendous, isn't it?
Yeah. In her room as well, and it was her room, because we kept swapping around rooms as well. We painted just to try and make changes, but keep it nice.
Yeah.
A light would be spinning around anti-clockwise, and there'd be no windows open, nothing, and it was just a full circle going round, and we just couldn't explain it. We should just think, right, let's just get downstairs, stay downstairs.
Oh,
No,
right.
Oh, wow.
Right, I'll get to another photo then. We've got 4 photos in all, so we'll go through those. Then I'll start looking at the comments, okay?
Okay,
So
yeah.
throwing of a hair clip as well. I don't know how you've. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. How you live through
Yeah.
that?
That little black cross on the wall, I marked that up because we used to keep a crucifix there. It was my grandmother's, and I thought because she was a Catholic, I thought it'd be good to have something there that as a bit of a protection, because it'd been handed down in the family. So I used to put that up there, and often I'd come in and it'd be crooked or it'd be on the floor.
It's antagonized.
Sorry, there's no reason for it to fall off that piece of brick wall.
They don't. We all have things on walls, don't we?
Yeah.
We have pictures. They don't fall off all the time.
No, definitely not.
In the life of a picture being on a wall, it may fall off once. If that.
Yeah. You turn your back and it'd be on the floor, or it'd be crooked.
Oh my gosh.
It was just couldn't explain it. You couldn't believe it, until you saw it with your own eyes, things happening. But you actually, but at the same time, you didn't want to admit what was going on. You didn't want to talk about it or even think about it, because the thoughts of it happening, you felt that you were drawing in spirit more.
Right.
You would kind of, not talk about it too much.
Okay, what year are we talking about as well?
I'd probably say about 2011, 2012.
Oh wow, so it's quite recent then.
Yeah. But there's been so many people that lived in the house before. It had been sold, then rented, then another tenant would move in and they'd move out. There was never anybody stayed in there very long, which was strange. I cannot work out why these things happened, or whether something followed us to this house, or it was already in the house. I mean, the area that we lived in, there's a very old public school. I think it goes back to the 1400s, and it's all dotted around this place. So whether it's anything to do with that, I don't know.
Yeah, you just no idea.
No.
It is one of those, is it the land, what was there before, or you just don't know. And if people have been sort of moving quickly, then, this could have caused it, but they're not going to say when they leave why they left, are they?
No, definitely not.
We've got the last photo then, so this is the garden.
Oh, yes. Just down the side of that shed, when we were moving out, I thought, let's just have a little nosy round to see what was about outside, because I didn't want to go in the attic. I never went in the attic to have a look to see if there was anything up there. But down the side of the shed, we found a spirit board. We found some old Chinese coins and some runes as well.
Okay.
So I feel that maybe somebody who had lived there maybe had been doing some practicing, dabbling.
Yeah.
Spiritual side or something. I don't know. But
probably opened a door and didn't know what to do with it once they'd done that.
Yeah, it's definitely opened somewhere, because even the garden didn't feel nice. The garden was hot at night. The garden just, as soon as the sun went down, you just kind of didn't feel comfortable in there. Felt like you was being watched.
Yeah, because it's just like standard garden, anywhere in the UK, isn't it?
Yeah.
To get that feeling, it's gosh,
it wasn't very nice.
It must have been so hard to live your day-to-day life.
It was.
Look after your children and everything, and
It was really hard because we'd have a lot of sleepless nights as well.
Oh, I bet.
Lot of sleepless nights, and just things would happen. Like my daughter would be doing her hair in the mirror, and she'd have hair clips on the side, and my other daughter would be walking out of a room, and a hair clip would be thrown at her, and then she'd turn around and say to her big sister, "What do you do that for?" And shout at her. And I'm like, "What's going on, you two?" Because there's a bit of tension because they're both getting ready for school, and she'd say, "She's thrown hair clips at me." And she's like, "I haven't done anything." So there was things like that. And my eldest, not forgotten, but she'd forgotten that she'd told a couple of people about some of her experiences, especially one. She used to have a little pot washing job after school, and she used to tell one of the girls, and my daughter knows this other girl through her boyfriend, and she was saying, "Oh, Mum's going on a podcast talk about the house." And this girl turned around and said, "Oh, I remember that house. Your sister used to tell me about it because she never wanted to go home after work because it would be dark." And she said, "Yeah, because so many things used to happen. She used to be scared and she'd dread going to bed at night." And I thought, wow, it's just, it wasn't, because we never really talked about it too much. I didn't kind of realize how frightened it was making them as well. I just thought we could just brush everything off all the time, but it just...
You must have been frightened yourself, Karen.
I really was. I had nobody really to turn to. I had one friend, because I'd come back to the UK, I wasn't living in the area that I'd come from. So the only person I had around me at the time was my sister. And she was working as well. And, she kind of sensed things, but we never really spoke about it. But I had one friend who's a Reiki healer, and I asked her to come in, and she sensed lots of spirits. And she took some photos, and I've still got to try and find them. She's got some photos of lots of orbs around us on the stairs and everywhere else, but she was trying to send some to the light, and it did ease up a bit, but it was still active. It didn't get rid of everything. So it was a bit, what do we do? Do we stay or do we go? And then one night, because my parents had moved nearer to us, one night it got so bad in the house because the dog was growling. My daughter had fallen down the stairs. She says she was pushed and she sprained her ankle, and the dog kept really growling at the stairs, and we could hear walking around upstairs. So we just said, right, let's go. Let's go to your nan's. And we didn't even pack a bag. We just put on our shoes, got the dog, and just ran out the house and left, because we just couldn't cope that night. It just felt absolutely horrendous. But sometimes we'd go back to the house, and it felt like someone was holding the door shut, stop us getting in. You turn the key, and that, as you see, that front door is quite easy to open. But it felt like somebody had pushed a hand on it and stopping you from coming in. And then you get it open and you kind of fall. But it was just, there was just so many different little things, You'd hear taps, the tap running in the bathroom, and it's just, I don't know. It feels really strange talking about it, because it's actually the first time that I'm actually saying about the things that happened, and as I'm talking about it, I'm thinking, oh yeah, and that happened, and this happened. There's just lots of different little things, like tripping over nothing, and just pictures falling down, and you think, oh no, that's all right. Or things being moved. You put them down, and then you'd think, sure, I'll put that there, and it's not there. And there was one time, my daughter was going out, and she took a photo of herself, and we're trying to find this photo, and I'd love to find it. So we're going to try and look through old phones that we've got. She'd taken a photo of herself, and there's a man in the background in the photo.
Oh God!
In the mirror, because it's a tall mirror, and there's a man in the background. So we need to find that, because it'd be good to just show people, look, this is what
happened.
Yeah. Because it was just, we even bought some holy water as well and just splashed that around the rooms.
No, but you do what you can, don't you? You know, nobody knows unless they've been in that situation. Like, I go to houses, you know, we go ghost hunting, investigating, whatever anyone calls it, and you're looking out. But when you're living in something like that, no one knows unless they're actually there.
It is horrible. You just don't sleep at night. You know, you hear. I used to hear voices, and I honestly thought I was going a bit mad, because I'd hear these voices, and it'd be like what you hear on Spirit Talk are words that come through really quick. It'd be quick words, but it wouldn't always be in English. It sounded, maybe it was Latin or something. But you'd look up these words, like there was some words, some spiritual word, defer or something, but it was said really quick. And it's something about the power of spirit. You know, we got words like that I looked up to see what they meant, and it'd be the power of spirit, guardian angels, just lots of different spiritual things. You know, and you think, is it my past life coming back? Is it reflection or something? You just don't know, do you?
No, because I'm very in touch with my past life at the moment. I've got crazy things happening around me, but that's a different story. But you don't know if there are links to.
Yeah. I mean, before
strange world.
It very much is, because before I moved back to this country, we'd got everything set up to go back to the UK. So everything was in a container, and we were staying at my parents'. And one of my daughters woke up crying, and I thought, oh, she's had a nightmare, because she was just sitting there sobbing. So I said, let's take you to the toilet, because she was only about 3 then. So I took her to the bathroom, came back, and I saw a shadow figure in the room. And I just thought, oh, it's my mum, because it looked like my nan, but my mum and my nan have got the same shaped figure.
Okay.
She was just brushing down the beds like this, because they were both sharing a room. And I said to her, it's okay, you can talk. I said, you know, she's already awake. She won't take any notice, and it won't wake Philippa up. And next thing, she just walked through these patio doors. I was like, okay.
Oh God.
You know, and I don't know if this was some kind of warning to tell me of, you know, what's going on, and I'm here to protect you.
Yeah.
You know,
we've had a question through now then from Mark Ali. Did you sort of check into the history of the house afterwards?
No, I just wanted to get out and forget that I lived there.
Yeah.
It's only been now that I've actually come forward and spoke about it, because it was just too
sometimes the better the devil you know, because sometimes you don't really want to know, because then it gives you even more thought of what else could happen.
Yeah, and I thought, if I start thinking about things, I'm communicating with spirit, and I thought, and that spirit I don't want to communicate with, because they might think I've lured me in to, you know, and do more. So I just kind of kept sort of lip tight about it.
Oh, bless you. And I just hope, you know, this helps you. And it also gives an insight to other people of what it's like.
Yeah.
You know, like you go, oh, yeah, I want to live in that haunted house or something like that. But, you know, this is the reality.
No, not when it's your home. And you can't just up and leave, because, you know, at the time I was a single mum with 2 daughters, the dog. I had responsibilities. I had bills to pay. I couldn't just up and leave and say, right, I'm going somewhere else. You know, I had the girls in school and everything. It was just, couldn't do it, because we'd moved around so much, I didn't want to up sticks again. I thought, no, we'll fight it. We get on. But we did leave there early in the end. We didn't renew the contract. It was like, no, we're going. We've got to get out of here. It was just...
Yeah.
But it's funny because when people say, how comes you never spoke about it, and well, why has it taken this long? But it's like any trauma. If something bad happens to you, you don't go blagging to everyone, do you? Not everyone talk about it, because you think, am I going mad because I'm hearing these voices? The girls have heard the voices. The girls have seen things. You know, you think, you start telling people that, and you're in a new place, and it was one of the smallest counties in the UK. You know, everybody knows everyone. We're strangers, and they're thinking, well, they're all nuts there. You know, you just don't know, do you?
It is hard moving into a small village, though. I went to run a pub in a village, and you never kind of accepted me a bit because I ran the local pub, so you'd have to accept me. But unless you'd lived there all your lives, you're always the newbies.
Yeah, you are.
So it is, it is different, and they all you don't have that same relationship as if you've been sort of brought up there and everything, have you?
No, definitely not. And the funny thing was when we moved, because I moved in with my partner, when we first moved in together, little things would happen at first, like lights would switch off, or they'd switch on. And he's an electrician as well, so I know it's not dodgy wiring.
Yeah,
and little things like that would happen. And at first the dog was a bit, but eventually it just kind of went peaceful. Whether they went back to that house, I don't know.
Yeah. Did you meet your partner, and did he go in the old house?
Yeah, he came in because he was in the fire service as well. He was a retainer. So he used to come one night during the week when he was working at the fire station, and often at the weekends. But whenever he came, it was mostly he would hear the door shut. He'd hear the door slam at night, or the dog growling at the stairs.
Okay.
Just that, or things would happen when he would go out, or if we went out together for a walk around the block with the dog and leave the girls indoors, something would happen then. And,
so it seemed to be challenging women more than anything, didn't it?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I think the lady on the stairs, I sensed that the lady on the stairs was actually there to kind of protect her. To say, don't get too upset and don't get cross because you might provoke. I felt that female spirit was there trying to get her to be quiet and stay calm. And it
they feed off negative energy, don't they, sometimes?
Yeah. Because but there was definitely, I felt there was a male presence, but I also felt that there was children there. There was mischievous children because of things that kept happening to my daughter. It just seemed strange that she was more of a target for her things, like her toys being touched and moved and her clothes being picked up and dropped. It was as if I can do this, I'm not going to get told off.
And I guess as well, when you coming forward, obviously with your story tonight, Karen, hopefully then it reaches out to other people to come forward with theirs, because a lot of people are a bit reluctant, to come forward in the case of what will people say, what will people be like with it. But do you know what? Fair play to you, Karen. And I usually have a lot more to say, but tonight this is the one that I've been dealing with the kiddie gloves, because obviously we've never spoke to anyone that it's happened to them. It's hauntings, like in a proper haunted house.
I just think that there's going to be people that are skeptics and think you're crazy and there's scientific reason for things. if you don't speak about your experience, it's never going to be out there. But I know that from when I messaged you, Jacqueline, about it, I started having horrible dreams every night. I was waking up and I have been waking up at 3 o'clock.
I'm sorry about that. If that, this has caused that, it's.
Yeah, but then I look at it that it's been trauma and it's coming out of me, and it's coming out of me in my dreams as well, of the experiences.
Oh, bless you.
But I can deal with that, because now I feel that once you start speaking out about your experiences that were traumatic, it helps you heal inside.
Yeah, that's it.
Because it's been kept in my head for such a long time, and now I just feel I'm ready to say what I need to say. But also I feel that I'm protected as well, because since this, I've been on a spiritual journey myself, and I had a spiritual teacher for years, and she's kind of helped me to ground myself and be firm, and
that's good.
So that if I do encounter any spirits, I know how to deal with things. I'm not powerful, but I know how to keep myself grounded and be firm, and I think that helps. But no, I really hope that this helps other people with their experiences.
Yeah, that's it. Because I have put you in touch with another lady, we're not going to mention names, who had an experience as well, and she told me her story, and it's like,
it was crazy. We were comparing notes of things that happened, and we could relate to things. It's like, wow, that happened to me too, and this happened and that happened. And she's saying to me, well, yeah, this happened. And our connection as well, of the places that we've lived.
Yes, I knew that one.
Each other, which is really strange.
Yeah,
we lived in another country, and
when you mentioned that country, I knew, obviously, and I thought, wow, I remember this lady saying, and it's
I just feel that there's I was drawn to what that post you'd put on, and I do feel there's a reason for it.
Yeah, because I don't post everything I see either.
No.
And like, the thing is, like, newspapers, oh God, they do things just to sell papers, and some of the stories like local papers are putting in now.
Yeah.
And they misconstrue what's being said half the time, or they exaggerate. And, I just sometimes post something just to put something on the page, but I thought, oh yeah, this is different. Let's put that on. Let's see if anyone wants to talk about it. But I never thought for 1 minute, when you said that, I thought, oh my God, this is really scary, It's not.
I've moved around and lived in lots of different houses, very old houses, a couple of 100 years old, everything. And I've always experienced the odd little thing, as you do,
Yeah, that's it.
Sometimes you can't debunk it, and other times you think, oh yeah, well, that was just that, or you just kind of ignore it. But this was continuously happening. There was something more or less every single day, and you couldn't have an answer for why it was doing that. Even with photos, you think, oh, that's just fallen down. Don't know how it fell down, but I just pick it up and put it back up.
No, I get things happen in my house, like I'll be in this room and in the back room something will fall. I thought, oh, it's gravity, I was in that room 2 hours ago and it's gravity and it's fell.
Yeah.
Oh, the most random thing, I had a plate of food and I brought it in the living room and it had peas on it and something else. I put it down and like 3-4 seconds later, a pea moved. You think, oh, it's gravity. It's just settled into place. You don't. You just explain everything away, but sometimes you can't.
Yeah, I've had my phone on the side on the kitchen side. I've walked to the other end of the kitchen. Our kitchen's quite big, and my phone has flown across the floor for no reason. And I think, no, okay. But it's only now and again, and I think, we're not having any of that. If you're going to be here, behave yourself, and that's it. And then it just stops. And I just think, well, maybe it is spirit just trying to get my attention. You do get the odd things, don't you? I think
That's
a lot
right.
of people just kind of ignore it, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to know, do you?
I'm not bothered, you know, but like years ago I would have been. But now I do paranormal a lot. Things happen. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever, you know, like if I'm actually out on an investigation, you hear something, you run into it, see the cause of it. But in your own home, it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. But
I mean, house, if you're doing a paranormal investigation in there, you'd come out and say, I've had an absolutely amazing night. That's been brilliant.
Yeah.
So much activity. But then you have that every single night and you're trying to sleep and just trying to switch off from everything.
Yep.
You just can't. You know, that controls your mind, and it tried to control ours. And I just thought, no.
Yeah.
But then I wonder if this chimney fire was the start of anything, because we had the receipt for the chimney to be swept. Unless the guy came and said he swept it and didn't sweep it, we don't know. But it was all very strange that we couldn't get out of the room and everything else. You know,
I think things can happen to push you. Like earlier on, we mentioned the National Justice Museum because you've actually worked as a host there, and so have I, for the same company but on a different night. And there's a car accident basically which caused me to work that night along with two others. And things happen for reasons, and we don't know what's going on really or why. A shout out to everyone really, but Sarah Scott, she's great. I love Sarah to bits, and Andy.
Oh, hi, Sarah. Sarah and Andy.
You've done brilliant. But yeah, just thanks so much for coming forwards about.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
And if this helps other people as well, you know, just message us, and then you know whether get in touch with you or you know we'll sort something out.
Definitely, but don't feel that you're going mad if you've experienced things like I have. You know, even touching or being pushed, anything. Speak about it, because you might find that it will actually help you. It help you to heal as well.
If you see this on YouTube, you can get in touch with us through Paranormal Path on Facebook, the page or the group. So,
and I do disregard anybody to go to any sort of media like the papers. Stay away from the papers.
Oh, don't. It's misconstrued.
Go and say to the papers, this is happening in my house or that is happening, because all they're doing is exploiting you and making a total and utter.
Yeah. I wouldn't. There's no way I'd do that, you know, because they just exaggerate things. They tell lies, and you know, and then you go and tell your story, and you'd read about it and go, actually, well, not all of that actually happened, or
It's not just that, you know, the amount of laughing faces that I've seen, like people.
Yeah, and I think you're crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. Because some people can be mean and, you know, put nasty comments when they read an article, even on Facebook. You know, just think, well, that's your opinion. You know, I know it happened to me, and that's it. You know, it's my experience, and I've spoken about it, and it's helping me.
Yeah, so very brave. Keep speaking or interacting with your friends, spirit friends, and family. You see, the thing is, a lot of us here, you know, paranormal investigators, a lot watching are, we're seriously into the paranormal, and we understand things. What happened can't always be explained, and like some of the stories what I've got, Lewis might tell you, or anyone on here, you think this is mad, but it happens, and you can't. Like here you go, like Heidi, who's had a Hoover put in front of her bedroom door so she couldn't open the door. How's it happen?
Yeah. You think, well, I didn't do that. Yeah.
And you've got like things moving, just attention-seeking actions. Spirits mean no harm to you. They just want recognition, which is often the case, but this was extreme, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And, you know, it wasn't done behind your back either. Things you'd actually see them move, and you know, I mean, another thing I remember, one day I was in the room and I could see a mist in that lounge where that wet patch was. I just remembered that. And I thought, oh, that's strange. And I kept rubbing my eyes, and this kept on happening. And in the end, I went to the opticians, because I normally wear glasses for reading and writing. And I thought, well, I'm not due, but I better go in case, you know, I've got some sort of cataracts or something. I thought, I don't know, maybe I'm losing my sight. And they said, your eyes are fine. They're the same as last time. So it cost me to go, but I just kept seeing this white mist, and I did after as well. But I just put it down to my eyes at first. But, you know, now it's come to light. I'm thinking, actually, no, I was actually seeing spirit. Because
that is the thing as well. There are things what can be a medical condition, and you ruling it out is the right way to go.
Yeah.
Like there's times when I've been extremely tired, and you don't know why, and I've gone to a doctor who says I'm tired, and it's menopause, but it's more than that. And I had a spirit attachment. About that. But
I've had that spirit attachment, and that was with Sarah Scott and Andy. And Andy actually brought me out of it, because he used to be an ordained, didn't he?
Yeah, so, Andy's brilliant.
I was overshadowed one evening, and he brought me out, and I had no recollection of it either.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Which is, you don't realise you might say things and you've got no recollection of saying it, because it's not actually you that's saying it. It's spirit.
I'm aware, but I just it's hard to describe. Yeah. But it's very odd. So Mark says, did any spirits follow you when you moved? Well, you did have things happen, did you?
I felt they did, but the energy wasn't as strong. So I do feel that house had the energy. I don't know if they were feeding off the energy in that actual house from the portal. I don't know. But I did feel that they did follow us here. Not all of them, I don't think. I think one of the children did. But also we did actually have a man, but we're not sure if that he belongs to this house. Because the children had seen him when my daughter had her friends over primary school. They'd come over, and one of them was sitting there eating a dinner going, and she's like, what are you doing? And she goes, I didn't know who that man was. No. So, I think this house is fine. We get them passing through, but when we did first move here, the odd things happened, like light switches coming on and off, my phone thrown across the floor, and just odd bits. But I think they just went back. But then I think that's because I moved in with my partner, and I wasn't as vulnerable.
Yeah,
so, maybe this spirit felt that three girls in a home on their own, I can intimidate them.
And it's quite an emotional journey for you at that time, wasn't it?
Yeah,
because just coming back from Cyprus, the children were the young as well.
Yeah. They had to settle into schools again, and my youngest, she spoke English, but she couldn't really read and write English. It was all good for her, so she had to learn the language as well. So it was quite, it was quite a long struggle as well.
Yeah,
a few things going on. So
it's kind of, you've got the emotion of life, but then your house is like distracting you from that in a way as well, isn't it? Which is,
I mean, my girls would say, Mum, I'm scared, or Mum, can I go to bed when you go to bed? And I'd be going to bed really early, just so that she would go to bed early, so she'd be up for school in the morning. Or they'd be in bed with me, and I'm laying there awake, letting them go to sleep. And I've got the lights on, because we couldn't sleep with the lights off. Because I don't know because your senses do get heightened in the dark.
Yeah.
But also, when the light was off, it felt like more was happening. You could hear a lot of noises and everything else.
Yeah.
So we'd have the salt lamp on and the hall light on and the bathroom light on, and it was just Blackpool illuminations at night, as my dad would say.
Yeah, my dad was good at that one as well.
Blackpool,
yeah. You do find out, like, if you go out and you're in a wood or something at night, it just takes a whole different thing to say.
Sort of atmosphere, and you're more sensitive, aren't you?
Closes in, and yeah. Oh gosh, bless you so much. Jeanette says, thanks for sharing the story. Very brave. It makes others realise they're not going mad as well.
Yeah.
You know, and thank you, you know, when you mentioned it. And the thing is, when it comes to shows, I'm always drawn to ask people, you know, I don't even think, I've not even got guests on next week yet. And, you know, I'll just see someone, I think, oh, do you want to do the show? And I'm just kind of
when you asked me, I kind of ignored your message at first.
Oh,
I don't know if you noticed. I opened it and then just thought,
oh
no. Oh, I don't know. It's different to just putting a comment and then actually talking.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And then
it is. It's hard to be public about anything. Like, I kind of been studying mediumship for 8 years.
Yeah.
But once I was on a live and I was coming out with stuff that here's somebody, and like that went out, and I thought, oh my God, you know, I don't want this out. I don't want people to see this. I'm going to think I'm crazy.
That's what I thought with some of my friends on Facebook. I thought, God, if they hear about this, they're going to think, God, you're nuts. You know, you never told me, or. But then I know there's some that we actually think, wow, you've kept.
Or you might have the reaction that you wouldn't expect, where people are more. Maybe back then people would have been a bit more, but more nowadays it surprises you the amount of people. I mean, the amount of people I used to say I go in investigations, like when I go into different homes and that, and they'll say, "Oh, what you doing at the weekend?" When I used to do investigations. And I say, oh, I'm going out this weekend, I'm going investigating. And they kind of give you that strange look for 2 seconds, and they'll go, well, what are you investigating? And you're like, well, I'm going ghost hunting. And then suddenly, before you know it, you've got 1,000 questions to one, because they're trying to throw that many questions at you.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh.
It's like you get some people that, you know, go on a ghost hunt and they're expecting things to be thrown at them and, you know, dragged across the floor and all sorts, but it doesn't happen like that.
No.
You know, you get someone that breathes on you, you might feel that you're being touched and things like that. But if you're being touched by spirit, you know you're being touched.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, if you've been touched by spirit, you know.
I've been touched by you do know there is a slight difference to the actual somebody touching you to somebody grip. I've had it before a couple of times in investigations.
Very much.
There's no somebody near me.
No. Especially when you can't see it either. Because I mean, I don't know about you, but sometimes I see spirit. Other times I just sense them. It depends how they come forward. And sometimes if you've been touched and you don't see spirit, although you're sensing them, it does freak you out a little bit, because it's a different feeling of being touched as well. It's not the same.
I've had icy cold fingers on me before. Like, oh God, that was odd.
It's not nice, is it?
All right then. This is a good one. You may find you get some new friend requests from people who've watched you on this show. Might not have thought of them as being interested in spirit, but who you might have had similar happenings.
That's so true, Andy. I would agree with that. You might find that happens.
But just to anyone in this situation, just be careful who comes forward. You know, if mediums are people who say they're mediums coming forward, offering to come in and sort this out and something, just be careful.
Yeah.
Just check with people within the community who know reputable people.
Exactly. I mean, if I'd been sort of able to speak about it and be more open, I probably would have gone to the local church,
Yeah.
and ask for the house to be blessed or something. But I just knew one lady that did Reiki and thought, oh, ask her just to
That's
pop
good. No,
sleep.
I'm glad you knew her.
But at the same time, the funny thing was, living in that house, I felt all the time, because I was only renting, it wasn't my home, and I invaded the spirits.
Yeah.
And I kind of had that sense that I was sort of trapped by them. If I'm going to live here, I've got to put up with them, what they do. And I think that kind of stopped me from trying to fight it. But then just one day, enough was enough, and that was it. I'm going. I'm done. I'm being beaten. You can have the house to yourselves. You can do what you like. I'm done. It just got to that point that I felt like I was going crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
And
it is the frustration of having to deal with something on your own, and you can't see the way out of it, can you?
No, you couldn't. You really couldn't. And especially with my daughters as well, because
that's hard.
They were scared to talk to other people about it. I think my daughter only spoke to one friend about it, because going to school, you'd get the mickey taken out of you, wouldn't you?
She will.
Especially in this stage.
Yeah. So, it's, they were quite glad that I've actually come on tonight, because when I was telling my eldest, she was quite pleased. She's going, oh God, that dreadful house. She's she's going, do you remember this? I'm like, oh yeah.
Was that the girl who's commented?
Was it Philippa?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did she put? What did she say? Did she say?
She made a few comments earlier. Yeah, about things moving and
hair clip, about the hair clip, and about it being
right, yeah,
sheet draining and things like that.
Yeah, because I told her off for that as well. I said, Philippa, stop throwing hair clips at your sister.
Oh, God, love her.
I'm not doing anything. And then the next thing, as I'm standing near my daughter, I actually saw one just go across the room.
Oh, wow.
But it's just strange. I don't know if Spirit was actually holding the hair clip and just walking along with it towards my daughter, because there were only the little hair clips, because my daughter used to put her hair in a bun. She'd put about 50 hair clips in her hair. That was the fashion then, with these hair clips. And, these hair clips would just kind of go across, but fast. But had it hit my daughter, I know if you throw a light hair clip, they're not the easiest things for an aim, are they?
No, they wouldn't sort of go across the room, would they? Just drop quite quick, wouldn't they? You've got be some force to get them that. Yeah. Oh, bless you.
I don't know, but they really did go through it, bless them.
Oh, but I'm so glad you're out the other end. But if you ever need anyone to talk to, or medium help or anything, just let us know, and then I can put you in touch with people.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks. Now you've done some hosting as well of events, so you sort of moved into the paranormal realm. So that helps in some way, does it?
It's made me stronger. It's made me acknowledge that there is spirit around, and that there is some that will manipulate you, and you've got the mischievous ones as well, and there is negative energies out there, but it's how you deal with it as well. And I always say as well, whenever you're communicating with spirit, always communicate with respect. Don't think that you're in charge and you can do this and tell them what to do, because it doesn't work like that. And their vibration's higher than ours, and they're around us all day long. So you just got to respect them, and don't try and manipulate things either.
No, you've got to be careful with what you sort of mess with, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely try and be respectful.
Yeah. I think
yeah, so. It's a great big mystery what happens out there, and
yeah,
we're just part of it somehow, aren't we? And I don't know how we fit in or what's going on around us, but
we just don't know. I mean, it's funny though this week because of been speaking to you about things. I've been putting a little hall light on again, just because I'm a little sensitive, and I just think, oh God, I hope they don't come back. I was asking for my little bit of protection every night as well.
Yeah, that's right.
But I feel that I don't know where they've gone, because I don't know who the people are in the house. I'm trying to find out and see if they're experiencing anything, or if there's anyone else. It's just strange that when I first moved in, somebody said to me, "Good luck with the house."
Okay, but what you can do, if it's been sold, you can see how many times it's been sold.
Yeah, it's been sold quite a few times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then money.
And rented as well. There's been a lot of people where somebody's bought it and hasn't lived in it. They've rented it out.
Yeah.
6 months at a time, and it's supposed to be a year contract, and some people have only lasted 6 months.
Yeah,
that's strange. But the funny thing is as well, and I don't know why I did it, because I never used to do it in Cyprus, and I never did it in the other house. I was always lighting candles in this house.
Okay.
Without even thinking about it.
Right.
I just think, is that something that I'm doing because Spirit want me to
yeah, maybe like whatever the house was before, if it was a building previously, maybe that was their source of light.
Yeah.
Like in a wow.
Yeah. Because I never thought of that before, because I'd sometimes like on the porch, and my partner, being a fireman, used to say to me, "You can't leave a candle in there. That's so dangerous," and I'd be like, "Oh, why?" And I'd light it without even any thought.
Okay.
I just think it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does.
Getting you to do things like that. Don't know. But we should know.
I think, if anybody in your situation watches this, then it will be sort of a blessing to them that, it can happen, This is as it is,
Yeah.
That's it,
I can't explain the things that happened. Sorry, we all saw it for our own eyes.
That's right.
All of us. Yeah. And my eldest, she's not spiritual at all. She sees the odd things, but she doesn't want to know. She completely shuts down. She's not into ghost films or anything scary or ghost hunts, nothing. My youngest is, though, she's quite sensitive to things, but she won't. Neither of them like to talk about the house, really.
I totally get it. Yeah.
And especially my eldest, because she's got children now herself. She's got 2 young children.
Oh.
She doesn't want to talk about things around the children or in her home, in case she's drawing something in. Because she doesn't want any experiences with them, which is, I suppose you think, well, like me talking tonight, I'm thinking, oh God, is it going to start bringing them back in? Am I calling them back in from the old house? But now I think, no, I'll be fine. It's all right. And I feel that I'm dealing with it. And once you face these things, I think it's better for you.
Oh, bless you. I'll have to meet up with you sometime with Sarah and Andy.
Yeah, definitely.
Go on and explore, as Sarah says.
Yeah.
With Chris as well. And
Yes, and Chris as well.
Oh, Chris. Yeah. Oh God, Chris makes me laugh.
Yeah, he's
just wonderful.
I can't remember. I went somewhere with him and Sarah and Andy. I think it was, I can't remember where it was. It's some old theatre or something. Sarah probably remember.
Was that in Burton-on-Trent?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I was there last Thursday.
Oh, were you?
I was there on Thursday, yeah. A friend, a lady who I did development with, actually said she was going, and I sort of got an invite.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Yeah, mine was an invite as well.
I got, as soon as I walked in, like where the stairs were.
Yeah.
When we went around the building, we were with the owner and a guy who worked there, and they're absolutely awesome people. And the owner's daughter was there as well. Oh my gosh, she could. Well, no, I won't say too much, but she's absolutely amazing. So we're walking around, and straight away there's this strong male energy. It totally slaps me, and it's with me.
Yeah.
And it's following me around, and then I go into a room, and all of a sudden, the bloke behind me gets the full energy on him. So it kind of makes
definitely a male energy that walked around that building, though.
Oh yeah, because I got in because I could hardly walk. I felt dizzy, felt sick, lightheaded, and a lot. I felt drunk. But as soon as I went through one doorway, it's funny because the man behind me was not sensitive to spirit in any way, shape, or form. He just got a full-on hit of him, and it's just great to get that validation, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
No, okay.
It's good.
Interesting. There's a man talking on one of the cameras but can't hear spoken words. Also had the name Peter for a few minutes.
All right.
So that's interesting. Yeah. Because we don't know about these, like, if you're going to get like EVPs, like I was speaking to Gary Fields last week and 3 words were said. And I was doing the live and I heard these 3 words. And I put on the chat at the end, I said, look at 119. So I checked back at 119 and I heard 3 words get said. Now, Gary had said it previously a couple of times, something like, oh my God. And I don't know if it came out of Gary's mouth, but certainly at the time, it wasn't coming out of Gary's mouth. But then when you rewatch it, it's like, was it?
Yeah.
So I do think that you do get voices in the background, and some of it is our voices echoing.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, it's not though, is it?
No, but you wonder if it's like a vibration from spirit from when they were here.
Yeah, you see, Jeanette had trouble earlier with something she was hearing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I put the light on? I'm going dark.
Oh, bless you. We can finish now if you want.
Okay.
But, I just want to thank everyone for watching. And, if you do get an issue, messages on Paranormal. 3 separate and just. Oh, wow. Gosh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I can't read that. My glasses on.
Right, ironically, I've heard 3 separate but indistinguishable words. It was a deep voice, so not one of you. Yeah, it's...
Oh.
It's a weird one.
But yeah, like last week, I did a show with Gary Fields, and I'm sure something clearly said something like, oh my God. I've just heard a whistle now. I just heard a whistle.
We used to get a whistle. We used to hear that as well. The odd little whistle. But it sounded like it was a long way away. Does that make sense?
I just had a whistle here. I don't usually hear things like that.
Well, perhaps I've gone to you then. Break.
Yeah. Well, I had something in my house last week. Something made the dog growl. And it's only growled in that manner 4 times.
Yeah.
Once at a schooner, once at a Scottish castle with Lois.
And
once when I was with the ashes of my dog, sitting with them on the carpet.
Oh.
So
it's funny though, because dogs, when they sense something that they don't like or they don't know what it is, the growl is different, isn't it?
It's very guttural and
yeah, definitely.
In fact, he did it earlier, and I thought, is that growl again or not?
Yeah.
Pass that one off, but I don't know. It could be.
Yeah. But my dog, she used to really sort of just curl up in a ball.
Oh, bless you.
She'd proper curl up in a ball. It wasn't like just cow down. She'd get right squeezed up in a ball. But she'd, when we went to bed at night, she wouldn't come up the stairs. She'd go under the kitchen table.
Oh, bless her.
You know, whereas before she'd lay anywhere and lay on a nice comfy bed. But in this house at night, she'd be under the table. You know, she'd be hiding right in a corner of the room.
Oh, bless you.
It was the fault of her that we felt she was being kicked up the bottom, because she'd just quickly jump and make a little yelp, or jump and run away with her back down, sort of her head down. So it was definitely, you know, spirit not liking the dog as well.
Oh, way. Yeah.
It's just funny how we all experienced things.
Yeah, that is. But yeah, thanks so much. And
no, thank you for having me on.
Oh, here's Gary. Oh, it was Gary who was talking to me last week when we got those 3 words. So yeah, that was weird. But yeah, cool. Gary's a wonderful medium as well. So
brilliant. Yeah. Oh, well, it'd be nice to hear what he thinks of, you know, tonight and what I've said, if he can sort of pick up on anything from that house. Cool.
To be quite honest, Gary probably will as well. Gary's a fantastic medium. So, oh, bless you, Annette. Oh,
you can gosh. Replay.
Yeah, I would certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Karen's experiences, my God, you know, people say they want to live in a haunted house, but
no, you don't.
You know,
really don't.
It's
good going to investigate one, but you know, it's nice to come away from it.
But yeah, thanks so much for this. It's
and
you know, I hope it's help you as well, because But you know, if anyone does want help, just contact us. If it's on YouTube, Paranormal Path on Facebook, the group or the page, just get in touch, and then we'll get help one way or another, because we do know some really good mediums.
I just hope that people do come forward that are watching this evening that have experienced things, or feel that things are getting a bit too much for them to speak out, because I think when you speak out as well, that does help you, but also it shows that you're acknowledging what Spirit's doing, you know, and you don't like it.
So Andy says, very interesting evening. Well done, Karen, for explaining your worries or thoughts. Thank you, Jacqueline and Lewis, and to everyone who's commented. But yeah, share that. Cheers, Andy. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Has there been battles on the land you know of, Saxon days?
Well,
on the land.
Funny enough, the road that backs onto our house, the main road, is called London Road. And there's a sign that comes up to the top of the hill that says 101 miles to London. And then as you go along, there's the castle. You've got Rockingham Castle.
Oh.
And that kind of dips down into the next village where the Roundheads used to be before going up to the castle.
Okay.
You can see all the different counties from the castle, because it's right high up on a hill. So you can see 4 different counties in this castle. But in the village, you can dip down into parts of the village and you can't see the castle at all.
Wow. Is there a stone with a cross on it?
Pardon?
Is there a stone with a cross on it?
Like
Saxon cross?
Yeah, there is. I think that's part of one of the school buildings, because some of the school is on London Road as well.
Oh.
And some of the buildings are like 400 years old or more, even more. So
it's a stepping stone and the cross. So yeah.
Actually, it's probably, I think it's about 1400s. Someone told me the school goes back. So
I think Gary's got it. Gary's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gary was helping me when I was investigating on Saturday, because I knew I'd get an issue, and Gary was kind of in tune with what was going on. He made a comment on Facebook as something was happening there, which was okay.
Oh, brilliant.
So we've got a large, tall chap stands in like a church doorway.
All right. Okay.
Chapel.
There was near, not far from where we lived, the old church. I don't know. I have seen a large, tall figure of a man.
Okay, yeah, he wasn't very pleasant. He'd take you from behind, apparently.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I always, as a child, I used to have these dreams, and I used to call him the Rat Man because it was a tall man.
Oh,
and
okay.
sometimes I think, does he come back now and again? Is it a past life or something, you know?
Oh, okay.
That's something, you know, with regression.
Oh, this makes sense. Gary says, like a stick come up from behind you and put like wooden stick around your throat.
You just made me go really cold.
Yeah, I think that's your dream, isn't it?
Yeah,
the Rat Man.
Yeah, the Rat Man. He's making my eyes fill up because I know
he's over-dominated on the land.
I know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah. Yeah, he's spot on. He's spot on with that. And I do feel that he just follows me around. But I do feel that I have more control now.
Oh, bless you.
I've got to have my wits about myself and just try and keep control.
Yeah.
You know, and just sort of pull my spirit guides in, angels and loved ones, to form that circle of protection around me. That's what I need to make sure. I do it every day. You know, every single day I ask for protection.
Yeah, that's it. It would drop down his cloak and stick would drop out from under his cloak as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's so funny that he's saying this because I used to tell my mum, because I'd tell her that this was all happening, and she'd be like, okay, you know, because she knew that I was sensitive to things. But I'm like, no, you don't understand, you know. But I used to call him the Rat Man because I used to see rats around him as well, you know. And I used to say that I could smell rats. Now I don't know if rats smell, but I always had that baked bean smell around him. You know, like a tin of cold baked beans. When you open the tin, you can smell.
Yeah,
it always smells like that around the Rat Man.
Wow.
So I don't know, you know, whether that's the smell he carries with him. But whenever I used to smell that smell, I'd be like, oh no, he's back again. So,
oh, bless you. Ben, I think it might be Ben Winfield, I'm not sure. Move the dominant one off back garden, put protection around bed if it helps you. Gary Fields has got had a taste of blood. Would put fingers in blood and whip blood on walls or areas he'd battered people. Possibly robbing the people as well. Uncleaned, not washed, stayed by the river in a hut.
Yeah. God. That's just, yeah.
I think I'm going to go for a drive.
Yeah,
Ben Winfield is brilliant. Yeah, definitely.
I think I'm going to put all the lights on everywhere. No, it's fine. It's fine.
I think you need to just tell them they're not welcome and keep positive, protect yourself, and if you do get trouble, then let us know.
Yeah, I think I've got a good team of spirit guides around me now. I've built up my own team that I can. Probably sounds crazy that I can communicate with.
Well, no, it doesn't. It's right.
Me, you know.
Lean on wall. Ask your guide to stop all dreams and keep him away.
Yes, I will. That's something I haven't done, you know. I keep having these awful dreams and I haven't said, can you give me a nice dream or let me have a nice sleep? You know, I'm having these really strange dreams of, you know, just people drowning and animals and just loads of crazy things that I can't actually relate to, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know, or people sort of arguing and then someone getting killed and just not nice dreams.
Yeah.
No,
it's like cat weasel dirty, looks like, but huge. and he's got scars on his chest.
Yeah, he's ugly. He's ugly. He's very tall.
Gary mentioned about a balloon on the wall. Is that like a visualization thing? To see the balloon and then ask the guide. So we'll just see what that means. But you know, if this helps anybody. But oh wow, thank you so much. And
thank you so much.
No, thank you so much for having me on, and it's been good. It's been an experience, and I think it's really helped me tonight, actually, because I feel that I can actually start moving forward and put that to bed now.
I'm glad.
Cool. That's good. Yeah.
You know, I've finally been able to speak about it, and I can now put a lid on it, and that's it.
Oh, bless you.
Fingers crossed.
And your daughters have sort of moved on to different lives as well. So they've got their families and everything, haven't they?
Yeah.
Visualize your house in a golden bubble.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Do that. Normally I just sort of say and circle myself in the white lights.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I do that. But yeah, I'll try that, because I mean, yellow is my favourite colour.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah.
So
Andy, hope you find the answers, Karen. Good luck with hopefully a better way forwards. But it's been fantastic, and
it's been
brilliant.
And, I hope you can help the other lady as well. And you know, if you have got things similar, then that is fantastic. That you finally got somebody who understands it.
It's really strange, because we kind of connected straight away. There was things that she was telling me that no one else I knew that would experience what she's telling me, and I'm thinking, oh my God, that happened with me. How comes we've both been in the same place where we'd lived and come back to this
that
country?
Was weird. When I knew about your connection there, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. But the funny thing was when you introduced me to her, I just felt that she'd been somewhere that I'd been to.
Wow.
And how she was talking about her experiences and then coming here and everything else. It's just kind of like the vibration, the lines, the energy that's gone through to others.
Yeah.
We've kind of connected.
Yeah, because I was somewhere and we're investigating, and she just mentioned a story in it. I wasn't interested in the investigation then, because her story was like, wow, she was the first person I ever spoke to with an actual experience where she lived with it. And
when I said to her about I kept getting these different words, kind of ancient or Latin words, and I didn't know what they meant, so I'd try and find out what they meant. And when I was telling her, she was saying that she was getting the same thing, and then she was saying some of her words, and we could relate to spiritual words of what they meant, which was crazy. We was both getting, whether it was us opening up to spirit to be prepared for what was coming our way, I don't know.
Wow.
All very strange.
That is, yeah.
But
Gary says 30 foot all around the house and below the house as well, with a bubble. Stay strong. He also feels that there's new buildings close. Feel the council stopping another building from going ahead, but new buildings going up as well.
Yeah, there's things like that. I mean, the house
balance isn't right on the land. Two different gatekeepers not getting on with each other.
Well, there's where we are. Sorry, I just put this into charge.
Right, guys, I'm going to be because I've got work in the morning, Karen. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really, really lovely to meet you.
Much.
Take care of yourself. See you later, guys.
Bye.
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 So where we live, it's on burial mounds, and archaeologists didn't want the developers to build. They wanted to find out what was on the land before where we are now. But obviously the developers won and they got to build. And some of the fields next to us is apparently there's burial mounds from the Black Plague.
Ooh.
So, which is interesting.
Is that where you are now?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
right
my God.
So it just, I kind of I kind of respect everything that's around me. I look at it differently because, we've done a couple of us that do ghost hosting and things.
Yeah.
We've done a couple of little experiments in the house, but not too deep.
Oh gosh, no.
And we've had underneath you, under the bed and buried here and, lots of things like that. And we think, okay, it's the burial mounds, so you just don't know what you're living on though, do you?
No, you don't. I went on a ghost hunt locally. 5 minutes walk.
Yeah.
It's a school. And they basically said that my house is on Saxon Cemetery.
Really?
I'm yet to find out.
I keep do know some of these old cemeteries, they just build on them, don't they?
Well, this is it. Like, I can see the church. Yeah. We've got a Saxon cross where I live,
There's a church in Nottingham, a graveyard, that the council actually put a footpath through the graves because a friend of mine, her grandmother's buried there, and they've gone and covered those burials because they're so old and just put a footpath through.
They've got a footpath at my church.
Have they?
Just the gravestones out the way.
Yeah.
And they put them sideways up.
Yeah, that's it. It's probably that place. I don't know whereabouts it is, but
won't mention it online. But yeah, we'll mention it in a bit.
That's not.
Yeah. So many spooky stories come from that house. Many different experiences, all equal in scariness.
Yeah,
Sessa.
Yeah, that's Cheska, my youngest.
Cheska, sorry about him.
Yeah, no. It's Francesca, but we have to call her Cheska.
Okay.
She's the one that experienced, I think, the worst things with the picture frames and her toys and her clothes.
Wow.
And the hair clips being thrown and
I'm so glad you're through all this. And if any of you need help, just let us know. Then I'm friends with Gary. Ben's also been mentioned by Jeanette because Ben's good with gatekeepers. I know him as well. He helps out. So.
I just wonder if Gary tonight has picked up on anything with the beads at all, because of what happened earlier on today.
Because they were moving?
Yeah, because the beads were picked up and dropped. This is something that really stuck out at the old house. But the funny thing was, we heard that this morning, both of us. We're in separate rooms, which was really, really odd.
Gary says that the chat feeds off people who are scared of him, so remain positive.
Right. Yeah.
So that,
Okay.
Oh, bless him. No, he didn't know about the beads. So basically, it sounded like some beads were just being picked up and dropped.
Yeah. That was this morning. And that's what happened in the old house. And we haven't heard that in all those years, until today.
Yeah, if you feel scared, he's playing. So
yeah,
get the walls up and yeah,
definitely. I will.
I think sometimes, like, I'm finding that if I speak about a specific spirit, they'll just like come near me. Gary says he's playing mind games, and
that's why I was a bit worried about talking about it.
God bless you,
everything, because I thought, oh no, there's going to be certain ones that are going to want to jump on this one and start piggybacking, and
oh bless you,
because that's what some of them do, don't they?
Yeah. He knows we'd be onto him now. So
yeah.
He knows, and I'm sure Gary will keep an eye out because Gary's brilliant, and Gary's on the ball.
Oh,
And Gary
brilliant.
knew what was happening with me at the National Justice Museum the other night.
Oh, gosh.
I sat in the judge's chair, and Gary on Facebook must have put at the same time going, he's cheesed off now. And I sat in the judge's chair.
Yeah, that's funny because every time I've gone there, I've never sat in the judge's chair.
Yeah.
Never. I've always stood back.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely is. That's quite your place. Well, definitely a place I like to go back to.
Yeah, I would as well. I went last night. Yeah, I went Saturday night even. Yeah. But yeah, it's a special place for me.
Definitely.
First place investigated. Oh, keep windows open tomorrow, and Sage House, keep it fresh. Oh,
yeah, I haven't saged for a while, so
yeah.
I've got fresh sage.
Yeah,
and I shall go around.
But yeah, thank you so much, and thanks everyone. I'll just say "be gone" as well when you do the sage, and just the intention in it. Bye, be gone.
Yeah, put your intentions out there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I just feel that he comes back now and again. I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of him, but I feel that he comes back and forth now and again.
Unless he is linked to a past life.
I think he is.
Yeah, could be.
I feel Victorian times.
So does mine. Mine's from the 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1830. Yeah, mine's Victorian.
Yeah. That's how I feel. Definitely. Always have done, even as a child. The nightmares that I used to have of this place in this house and the rat man there every time.
Is there a doctor's house close by you? An old doctor's house?
I'm not too sure. I'm not sure. We've got one up the road, but I don't know. I think that's a newer building. Yeah. Now we've got the old police station. We've got nothing in this village. Not even a shop.
I guess that's kind of good though, isn't it? From the opposite.
Yeah. Just burial mounds.
Yeah, that's yeah. I know somewhere near Newark there's burial mounds, which somebody mentioned. Yeah, blackjack ones, but yeah.
Well, when you think about it, we're near Rockingham Castle as well, so there's probably a lot of
no idea what's gone on there. Yeah, it's seeing a medical bag, old doctor's bag. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh. That could be somebody that I know that I've done house sitting for and dog sitting, and it's an old church house. And she was a doctor.
Wow.
Yeah, it could be.
Gosh.
That's not far away. That's in the next village.
Oh, that's linked with an old building.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an old church building.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
From the 1100s, the churches.
Wow.
Churches 1100s. And I think the house was 1300, something like that.
And round glasses with that as well.
Right. Yeah, I can kind of, if it's the person I think it is, I can relate to that with this person.
Yeah.
Because they've got a lot of old doctor's bags and things like that. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Gosh.
Yeah, that's good.
But I hope you've had some help here as well from Gary, because
it's been really interesting.
What Gary's got through is it's fantastic. But
it's really
Gary.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like thick glasses.
Yeah.
Thick lenses. But Gary's working so hard.
He is, isn't he?
I know.
It's really good how he's kind of connecting. He's channeling, isn't he?
Oh gosh, he does, yeah.
Picking up on things.
Yeah, he's certainly channeling last Monday. But yeah.
Tell him to call the rat man. He can go to him and he can have a word with him.
Yeah, do you want the rat man coming your way? Yeah. But,
yeah.
Oh, thanks everyone for watching anyway, and wow, Karen, and good luck to you in the future and everything.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Yeah. The way Gary works, oh gosh, he's got a team around him, and his team like linking with the other person.
Yeah.
So he's got a fantastic and very unique way of working. It's not a way I've noticed before.
Yeah.
Oh, bless. Gary says thank you. Bless him.
It's good.
Yeah.
I think he's connecting with my spirit guides and getting the information.
That's what he does, But Gary Fields is a fantastic medium. Yeah. So if anyone wants anyone on events, Gary Fields is Yeah,
hopefully maybe I'll meet him one day.
Yeah.
And, see what he picks up on around me and everything. It'd be quite nice to see.
He's always on the road somewhere, hopefully.
Yeah.
But okay then. Cheers then.
Right. Thank you very much.
And thank you.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Cheers for everyone's comments.
Thank you.
For the shares and everything. And goodbye. Sleep well.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Thanks.
Bye.